Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV. Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Jake Schaff, bringing you all of the latest news and stories from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Yesterday was the biggest day and the biggest event in all of Greater West Bloomfield, the 2026 Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Week Awards, where the community celebrates its many dedicated volunteers and the countless people who work to make this incredible community what it is. The change makers, the visionaries, the leaders, both young and old. Everyone was being honored here at this event, and it was incredible to witness. I spoke with a few of the honorees to hear their gratitude and what events like these represent for Greater West Bloomfield.
West Bloomfield recognizing us for our work has just made us want to do more for the community. Everything we do is for the kids. Everything we do is to create inclusion and kindness. And being at this awards today and for them to be talking all the time about doing more in the community, making things happen, and being a good person just makes us want to do even more to make things better.
I think as humans, we really need connection and community, and these type of awards really bring validation to those that are putting so much time and energy back into their community. And so it means a great deal. Really shows that light overcomes dark, honestly. I think that a lot of noise can happen in the world, and today really kind of showcased that there is a lot of great people in this world helping each other.
I'm feeling wonderful. It's a great opportunity for the Chamber of Commerce to be receiving an award for civic kind of duties, and I'm happy to be the recipient. I'm happy to receive it on behalf of the Chamber. So it's a thrilling opportunity to be recognized for the community service. This community is full of diverse, wonderful people who are under one umbrella trying to do wonderful things for business, for community, for youth, for all of what belongs here in West Bloomfield, in the greater West Bloomfield area. So the award really means that we are serving in the capacity where we need to be serving to support those around the community, the business leaders, the schools, the parks and recs, all of the things that make West Bloomfield West Bloomfield. So we're really happy to be receiving it, and we know there's so much more that we can do, and we're committed to doing more through the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
A powerful day within West Bloomfield, honoring the people that make this community special. If you missed this year's Michigan Week Awards ceremony, you can check it out over on civiccentertv.com. Many big names were honored and celebrated at this year's Michigan Week ceremony, and if you were paying attention, you might have noticed that one of the honorees was a very familiar face to this program. Former Splash host Kevin McIntosh was honored as a member of the 2026 Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Treasures Honor Roll for his work in assisting the West Bloomfield School District and with his technical expertise and his ever-growing impact on the community. Joining us now on the Splash Live, returning to the Splash Live, I should say, is Recreation Coordinator for the West Bloomfield School District, Kevin McIntosh. Kevin, it is so great to have you back with us.
Having me, Jake. Good morning. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Good morning to you as well. First of all, congratulations on the honor you received during Michigan Week. What did that mean to you to receive this honor?
It means a lot. Still, to be honest with you, still haven't necessarily let it sink in and hit me yet. But I mean, it's me just doing my job, essentially doing what I'm supposed to do, and being recognized for it is just an honor. I mean, I always say it's rare that you get recognized and appreciated for things that you do as an adult. We get all these awards, honor roll, participation, and things like that as a kid. So to be recognized for the work that you're just supposed to do or that you want to do already is a great honor. So it feels great.
I mean, that's what makes Michigan Week truly special. Now, about Michigan Week, you have a very interesting perspective on this because you've done Michigan Week pretty much from every single angle. You've helped set it up, you've spoken at it, and now you've been on the other side to receive an award. What was it like to witness Michigan Week from this other angle this year?
Yeah, no, that's correct. Working on the multimedia production side of it, also kind of hosting and giving like a welcome speech. It was, and then, sitting down at the table, having a seat at the table. It was a full circle moment. It was very, very interesting. I learned about Michigan Week through Michigan Digital, and then to be a recipient of one of the awards, actually being able to sit down and eat the breakfast was very enjoyable. But it was a full circle moment nonetheless. It just kept me humble throughout the entire process.
And it's been so great to see you with this full circle moment to receive this honor. And you've done incredible work within the West Bloomfield School District since your time here with Civic Center TV. Talk to us a little bit about what you've helped to implement within the school district and what you've brought to the team.
Great question. So considering the fact that I haven't been here relatively long, I'm still kind of getting used to the system. It's an entire school year to get through. So, I mean, there's different things that happen in the fall as opposed to the winter, the spring, and the summer. So as of right now, if I'm being honest, I am just kind of getting used to the system. But I can say proudly that one thing that I did start or help start initiate was the West Bloomfield Academic Games team. Academic Games has been going on in Michigan since I was a kid, in a different school district. And now, me and another teacher, Mr. Hamilton Wilson at Chico, helped bring this together. And our academic games team, the first team ever here in West Bloomfield School District, was very successful, even going out to the state tournament in Ypsilanti. So that was one thing that I could say I put my stamp on and help start here.
Already making an impact within the school district. We love to see it, Kevin. I am curious, has there been anything that you've taken from your time with Civic Center TV that has helped you with this new position and helped you with your new role within the school district?
Absolutely. So many valuable lessons learned from Michigan Digital Civic Center TV that I bring here. Obviously, my editing skills, my production skills. I actually have to go work on a project right now, kind of recording a video, I should say, and editing a video for the district. So I'm doing that on a frequent basis. So those interview skills, the editing skills, the writing skills, all transferable from, an industry like broadcasting over to education. So very valuable.
Glad to hear of everything, Kevin. I'd love to keep talking with you, but we know you're a busy guy. So as you've often said here, we're going to land the plane with this interview with one final question. What does it mean to you to have made such a difference in this community in such a short time with this new role and everything that you've done within Greater West Bloomfield?
That's something I actually reflect on quite often, Jake. To be honest with you, I've only been in the community for so long, a short period of time, relatively speaking, and to be acknowledged for some of the things that I've done, and to have certain people be familiar with me, and for me to know people like the township supervisor and the police chief is like I said, it's humbling. It's an honor to be recognized and awarded and things of that nature. So I feel like West Bloomfield is home. It's brought me in like its own. So I'm very, very happy and proud to be here and make a difference, be an asset.
And that's amazing to hear, Kevin. Congratulations once again on your honor. And thank you so much for returning here on the Splash Live to talk with us today.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you to Michigan Digital. Thank you to Civic Center TV for everything that you do in the production team behind the scenes. Thank you all.
Always love to receive that praise, and it's amazing that we're able to celebrate people all throughout the community, and especially great when it's one of our former team members that is getting that praise. So big congratulations to Kevin and all of the award winners throughout this year's Michigan Week Awards banquet. But out of all of the awards given out during Michigan Week, there is one award that truly stands for something incredible, and that is the Dr. Seymour Grechko Youth Advocate Award. Awarded to an individual who models visionary leadership, contributes to building a more inclusive society, is recognized for their impact in the community, and who motivates others to strive for professional excellence. This year, the award was presented to Scotch Elementary School Principal James Scrivo, celebrated for his many years of service of helping the education of the kids within our community. Here's the award-winning moment for James Scrivo.
This honoree serves Greater West Bloomfield both in professional and voluntary roles. And these roles are all dedicated to the well-being, development, and advocacy of youth. This individual partners with community-based organizations to support youth wellness, prevention, education, family outreach, and service opportunities. Youth advocacy is this awardee's defining thread for his work and contributions to the greater West Bloomfield school environments, especially those and he works to promote equity, inclusion, and wellness. This honoree is well known as a champion for capturing kids' hearts. The recipient of the 2026 Dr. Seymour Grechko Youth Advocate Award for an individual is James Scrivo.
That award could not have gone to a better person this year. James Scrivo has brought so much to the greater West Bloomfield community and to all of the kids that he teaches or that he serves over as principal of Scotch Elementary. And James Scrivo is joining us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. James, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's an honor and a pleasure. Anytime for you guys.
Of course, again, big congratulations on this incredible achievement with the Dr. Seymour Grechko Youth Advocate Award. What was your reaction when you learned you had been selected as the recipient of the award this year?
It was on camera, so it was pretty authentic for me. I've sat in that breakfast. I know I've sat in the breakfast for 16 years because I've been principal for 16 years, and I've been honored to be invited to it with the rest of my colleagues. And I've thought, like, when I got onto the podium to give a quick thank you speech, it's really difficult for me to put into words how grateful I was, and I was a little speechless. I was rattled. I wasn't expecting to get that, but when you sat there for 16 years, you think about, man, I would really like something that I've done to warrant that type of an award, and to be recognized for that, I mean, it's a humbling experience. It means that somebody saw something that you did and they really honored it. And then to know that you did something that warranted that honor, it was a very touching moment for me. And it was a little surreal. I mean, it's a Michigan breakfast honor, but to me, it was a tremendous honor from my colleagues and my bosses. Dr. Bazzi and Dr. Mrakna and Mr. Scott Long. I was honored, and if anyone truly knows me, knows that for me to be tongue-tied or not have words for that moment, it was a pretty big deal because I usually have something to say, and I think I said that I really wanted to win that one day, and it came out I think authentically, as I truly would be very happy to be honored, but I wanted to have a career more so where someone looked at it and it thought it was honorable.
Very well spoken, and we are glad that it kind of caught you off guard, because that's the point of this award. We do want to surprise the award recipient with it every single year. So we're glad that the job was done, and we're glad that you were surprised. But I mean, this has got to be an amazing feeling to have gotten this honor. What first inspired you to become involved in youth advocacy and community service?
That's a great question. When I was in college, I was a business major, and I started to look at the individuals that I'd be working with, and I was like, man, I'm just not making connections with them. And I was walking home, and I passed the College of Education, and my mother, my aunt on my father's side, my grandfather, are all in the service industry as far as teaching goes in some capacity. Now, they may have done something after that, but they've all been teachers. And it was in my family. It was in my DNA. I just didn't know it. I wanted to do something different. But when I walked into the College of Education and started that process and then got into the classrooms finally, then I knew that I wanted school to be better than it was for me. And I was blessed. I had two parents that were fully invested in my education. They would not let me fail. And even though I tried so hard to fail and I gave so little effort to school when I was younger, I feel terrible about that now. But part of it was that I didn't have relationships with my teachers. K-5, K-3 K4, K through 4, I felt like I had relationships with my teachers. But after that, it really dissipated, and it made me not put as much effort into it. And I'll be very honest. So I wanted truly to create an environment and a community where the kids felt like they wanted to come to school on a daily basis and couldn't wait to get here. And now, if you stand in front of my building at around 8:55 to 9:10, you will see kids running into the building to get to school. Now, yes, some of them are late, but the majority are excited to be here and want to be with their teachers. And through capturing kids' hearts and the process that we believe in, our teachers make relationships with kids that last forever.
That is amazing, James, and that's so great that you're wanting to brighten these kids' day and making sure that they have this relationship with their teachers that you didn't necessarily have when you were their age. So that's great that you're paying it forward and that you're working to make sure that the school experience for every single one of these kids is incredible. And you've done
I want to be clear on that too. I don't want to cut you off, but if Mrs. Baker, my kindergarten teacher, or Mrs. Lang, my first grade teacher, or Mrs. Seraphin, my second grade teacher, and then my third and my fourth grade teacher ever hear that I didn't have connections with them, that's untrue. I think about you guys often, and I just want to make sure that I'm clear, because they will call and let me know that I said that, so I don't want that to happen.
Well, I'm sure everyone will know that you have connections with every single one of your students. And you've done so much throughout your time as principal of Scotch Elementary. What would you say has been the most rewarding moment you've experienced while helping the school and helping others within the community?
I mean, yesterday was probably, if not the most rewarding, one of the highlights of my career. So I don't know how to top that. I would say, though, there's many times that I have felt honored and privileged to be principal at Scotch Elementary for as long as I have, and then be part of this community for the last 25 years. That was an achievement that I didn't think I'd ever get, and to be honored with it, it was, like I said earlier in the interview, it was truly humbling, and I was honored, truly honored, and I feel blessed to be part of this community. I don't know if I'd ever want to say that anything else was better than that. At this point, I've had so many opportunities to make connections with kids and be part of their lives. The side hugs I get on a daily basis from the kids, and when they say thank you for the things that we've accomplished here at Scotch and the hard work they put in, I believe that really and truly is second to none. So the honor that I got the other day, that I was able to receive, is probably the cherry on top for a career that I feel very proud of.
And you should be proud of everything you've accomplished. For those just joining us now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Scotch Elementary School Principal James Scrivo, who's the recipient of the Dr. Seymour Gretschko Youth Advocate Award at this year's Michigan Week Awards ceremony. Now, James, how important is it for young people to see role models and advocates actively involved within their communities?
I don't know there's anything more important. No one can control being a father of a 20-year-old, soon to be 21, and a 19-year-old. You quickly realize somewhere between 5th grade and 8th grade that you don't control anything. And that you don't have the control that you think you do over, because your kids have free will, and they will make choices that are good, bad, and indifferent. It's how we react to those choices when they are made, right, and how we move forward. One of the big things that I like to preach is failing forward. I don't have any problem with anybody failing. I think failure is a great place to be in life, if you can learn from it. And there's nothing wrong with failing as long as you're putting effort into it. Now, failing over and over and over again, doing the same thing, that's a problem. You don't want to have that, but you want to have someone in your life who is willing to teach you from your failures, or try to teach you once you have those failures, and then work with you to find success. If we have more people like that in the schools, which I know we do, but if we continue to bring in people in the schools to work with kids, to coach them, and help build up kids, there's nothing wrong with motivating them or pushing them or having expectations or having consequences. Actions have consequences. Some are good, some are bad. But I believe it was Mr. Rogers was in an interview and he was talking about what love really is. And love is consequences. Love is guidelines. Love is expectations. And love is living up to those things. And then also following through when and if those expectations aren't met. And kids need that structure. I believe in it. I believe truly in that structure, whether it's getting them into sports early, showing them what a team looks like, how to act within a team. A lot of my attributes that I think I have, I learned playing sports. You got to learn how to get along with people. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody is as good as some of the players on the team, and you have to learn how to get along with everybody out there. And if we could just take some of those lessons into the school, and we do the same thing in schools, and I think we're going to find success there as well.
I think so, James. All very wise words, and it's great that you're implementing a lot of these ideals on these kids. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. Above all else, what message would you share with students or young residents of the community who want to make a difference in their community but may not know where to start?
Ask, right? So the worst thing you can ever get from asking a question is possibly like, no. You ask the question, the answer is no. Okay, ask somebody else. There are plenty of people in our community, especially in West Bloomfield, that are willing to help you and partner with you to do some great things. It's as easy as like starting a recycling program and asking people to bring product to you that you're going to recycle. We've had recycling programs go on here at Scotch for many years, partnering with community members. Just the simplest of things. We used to do a field trip where we went on the West Bloomfield Nature Preserves, and we would work with the WB Parks and Rec and pull mustard seed. I believe it's mustard seed, the mustard seed weed, which is invasive and harmful to a lot of the plants and foliage on the trail. And we would get tons of not tons of bags, but like 10 bags of that in a very small section. But that's an easy partnership and something easy to do. I've seen kids collect garbage around the fence lines that litter the litter that is on the road. That's a very easy thing to do and to help out the community. But most importantly, if you have an idea, ask. Our teachers at Scotch are always willing to work with our students. We do food drives regularly to help all our local pantries, some of the churches in the area, and it's always met with such gratitude and thankfulness from those partners, and it's very easy to do. I mean, many hands make light work. So the more people that are involved and the more people that are trying to help kids become advocates and help out in the community, the better off they're going to be, and the lessons that they learn, as well as the pride that they get in doing so. A lot of times people say, I love volunteering, but I get more out of it than what is being done. And I really believe in that. You do get a lot out of volunteerism.
You absolutely do, and that's what we always want to see within the community. More people stepping forward, more people helping, and everybody working to make this community that much better. Last question we have for you, James, because you've had such an incredible career within West Bloomfield. You are set to retire very soon. What do you hope serves as your lasting legacy within Greater West Bloomfield?
I would say that though he was not always right, which I'm well aware of that the majority of my decisions were always erring on the side of a child. It was mentioned many times yesterday at the Michigan breakfast, but when I make a decision, good, bad, or indifferent, I always try to think how it'll impact the student. And if I could have any legacy, someone would say, it'd be nice if they said, he was a man of integrity, he was honest. I know people will say that I was direct when I spoke with them, and sometimes that can sound a little harsh at times, but I was honestly direct with them. But I would want people to remember me with that when he made decisions, he tried always to err on the side of a child.
Brilliant. Honesty is the most important thing, and it's amazing to hear of everything that you've done with your time in West Bloomfield and everything that you've been celebrated for. James, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live, and congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning. It was an honor to be on and an honor to be nominated for the Dr. Seymour Greshko Award. And I do want people to know that he said I was wise. So if my wife listens to this, she knows that I was wise one.
Well, you certainly are wise, James, and we've seen this impact all throughout the community. Big congratulations again for his award, for receiving this incredible award, the Dr. Seymour Gretschko Youth Advocate Award, with this year's Michigan Week Awards ceremony. It was a busy day all throughout West Bloomfield as shortly after Michigan Week came to a close, the West Bloomfield Police Memorial took place, where the community came forward to honor our first responders who acted bravely in the face of danger. Our own Jonathan Montgomery has the story.
Officers of Greater West Bloomfield put their lives on the line every single day, honoring the commitment to protect and serve. Here at the West Bloomfield Police Department's Memorial, they took the time to honor the legacy of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice.
It's important to honor them because you don't want their names to be forgotten. They paid the ultimate sacrifice, whether it be helping a fellow officer out in backup or helping respond to someone's home who was broken into, or the many circumstances that these officers face when they go out in the field every day and encounter something that may not allow them to come back home. It's important to honor them and to remember them, because the reason why we have the freedoms and the safety and security we feel is because of our military, because of our law enforcement, our fire departments, paramedics, EMTs. All of that helps make this community feel the way it does, and honor those who paid that ultimate sacrifice. It's very important.
Police officers just have a real drive and a real need to help whoever that may need. It doesn't matter in what capacity it may be. If it comes to just helping unlock a car for someone, or if it comes to actually going and putting yourself in between danger and somebody else's life, there's always that need to just do something.
It's really important for us to have a communal voice, especially having a relationship between our houses of worship and our civil and civic opportunities. Being able to sit with our police department, with our fire department, with our parks, with our library, and find common ways that we can come together in these neutral spaces to make sure that we're all speaking towards the importance of diversity and representation in all parts of our community. It's truly vital.
This memorial is a permanent reminder of the bravery that is required to keep this community safe. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jonathan Montgomery.
It was a powerful, very powerful ceremony that took place, honoring the incredible work of our first responders all throughout the greater West Bloomfield community. So we appreciate Jonathan going out and covering that story for us right here on The Splash Live. Over at West Bloomfield High School, athletic excellence was celebrated once again as the final signing day of the year took place recently, and 8 more talented student athletes signed their letters of intent to continue playing their sport at the college level. I spoke with some of these talented athletes to hear what they've learned in their time at West Bloomfield High School and what they hope to take with them to college.
It means a lot, just sticking with my coach, everybody believing in me, trusting me. So it just means a lot to be here where I'm at, making it this far, and just being able to play the game I love at the next level. So I'm excited.
What has the support meant to you from your coach, your family, your peers, everybody that's helped you to get to where you are today?
The support was a lot, especially from my coach. Like coming in as a freshman, young, mind's not fully there, but he believed in me from the start, started me as a freshman. So that was like my big booster, and it helped me the whole way. So it just kept me humble and kept me grinding. So, and all the support, staying in the gym, everybody, coach is staying after to help when we work. So I just enjoyed it, and it worked off. So.
Yeah, I love my coaches for sure. Even my teachers, Mr. Pierce, Mr. Pace, everybody that shows me good feedback. Like me as a person, I'm a good person. I put the work and time to it. So everything they say, it backtrack, and I got to show that too. I got to set the tone. I got to let people know it's kids that look up to me too, freshmen, sophomores, So I got to come out every day and show what I got to do, and I appreciate that. I love my coaches. Without them, I wouldn't even be here, especially my brothers that I play football with, track, every other sport,
Yeah, it's a blessing. I'm really honored to be able to sign to play basketball, and I just appreciate everything, school, coaches, everybody. Yeah, we're all like a family here, so it's like we're all a team and we all support each other. So yeah.
Talk to me a bit about where the love of the sport comes from and why it pushes you to be the best that there is.
Probably just comes from being an older brother. You go from playing outside with your brothers to going to AAU to going to elementary. I'm always kind of like they role model, like, oh, like, let's go work out. So it just comes from the love of being an older brother and trying to inspire my younger siblings.
Talk to me a bit about the things that you've learned here at your time with West Bloomfield High School and how that's going to excel you to take the jump to the next level.
Main thing I learned is you can't win everything. You know, you lose games. It's a part of the game. There's negatives with the game. There's positives with the games. Everything's not going to always be positive. You have injuries. You have stuff outside of sports that could affect that as well. So that's one thing I took for sure is everything can't go the way you want to, but in the end of the workout, how it is now.
Amazing work from every single one of these student athletes, all looking to make an incredible name for themselves at the collegiate level. Incredible athletic prowess, and I can't wait to see how their careers continue to blossom in the years to come. A community fundraiser is being organized to support Chris Baker, a well-known Keego Harbor bartender following a sudden and life-altering medical emergency. She's currently facing paralysis on the left side of her body and a long, uncertain recovery process after suffering a recent stroke. The event will be taking place on May 9th at 1 p.m. at Brew House Bar and Grill in Keego Harbor. Sarah Henderson, the marketing and donation coordinator for this fundraiser, joined us on the Splash Live to tell us more. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, really amazing benefit that you are putting together for Chris Baker. Can you share a little more about her and the impact she's had on the Keego Harbor community?
She's a staple. She's a staple of Keego Harbor, of B1, where she's worked for, I think, 6 years now. She's like the leader of group therapy, I would say there. You know, there are regulars that come in, you know, during the daytime just specifically to see her. You know, she's a gem of the community. Everybody, you know, everybody knows her, from the chief of police to, you know, the local. I mean, I work at Buscemi's, and the owners there know Chris and know her daughter. So she's very much needed around. We need her back.
It sounds like, I mean, really sounds like she's made such an impact on this community. And I would imagine when everybody heard about the medical issue that she's dealing with right now, people jumped into action pretty quickly, it sounds like.
It was a rally around the family moment for sure. We jumped into go mode. It was just a spider web of connecting with others that cared very deeply about her and her daughter. What can we do to help her? What can we do to help her family while they're supporting her? I mean, it's very difficult to put your life on hold as, you know, your parents, you know, as the parents of her, or, you know, or everything being so up in the air with the progress and all that, and her daughter. It was just, we all wanted to do what we could, whatever we could do to make it easier for her and easier for her family to support her.
Of course, and that's amazing to hear of all of the work that you and everyone involved with this fundraiser is doing to benefit Chris and her family. Why was it so important for friends and community members to come together to organize this fundraiser and to really bring the whole community and bring them involved?
Keego Harbor is a very, very small town, and everybody knows everybody. What I think the larger message across the board is that when something like this happens to somebody within our community, the support is going to be there. Not unlike a church group, where when something like that happens and you're part of a parish, you know, they support you. So we want everyone to know that if anybody that would walk in shoes or a path similar to this, that the support would be there for them. So let's just pay it forward right now, so that if we ever find ourselves in a similar position, that the support is there for the next person as well. Right now, the focus is on Chris and her daughter, though, for sure.
That's absolutely right. And I'd imagine when this news came out, what has the response been like in terms of donations, volunteers, and event participation so far?
Oh, it's been overwhelming. We have had, the reach has been outstanding, to be honest with you. We've had individual donations made to the Venmo that we had set up. One of our team members, so to speak, took on the finance aspect. So she's in charge of making sure that when donations come in, we're allocating them appropriately, and what gets set aside for, everything gets set aside for Chris or for the opportunity to create more profitability that would then benefit her. But so from those cash donations to the local businesses, I mean, everybody just wants to jump in and do what they can. It is the response has been widely, what do you want? What do you need? And how can I help? And that's expanded beyond Keego Harbor too, so it's been overwhelming and inspiring.
It absolutely is inspiring. And like you said, when it comes to a small town like Keego Harbor, where everybody knows everybody, you absolutely do want to jump into action and help in any way that you possibly can for someone that you know very well. For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Sarah Henderson about the upcoming benefit for Chris Baker, a beloved Keego Harbor bartender who recently suffered a stroke and is going to be undergoing brain surgery soon. And this is a benefit to raise funds and to help her and her family through this trying time. Now, Sarah, what does this event say about the importance of supporting friends and neighbors during times of crisis?
Yeah, I think it says, especially for our little community in Keego Harbor, that we will do what needs to be done, and everybody will jump in and help. There's just an immense amount of support in this community, and that is being shown and spread in such a way that everybody can participate in whatever way that they can, and know that if it were them or a family member, that there would be support as well. So just, it's a reiteration of what a small community can do to support their own.
That's absolutely right. And there's many ways for people to go out and support. Like you, as we said, that this benefit is going to be taking place on May 9th. How can people who are unable to attend still continue or show their support?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a Venmo account set up just for Chris and her daughter. I will provide you the QR code, and if you wouldn't mind putting that on the socials when you post this video, that would be incredibly helpful. If you can't attend the event, you can talk to anybody at B1. Tony there has been absolutely supportive. We're mutually supportive of each other. This is the first of many events that we're working together to host for Chris's benefit. And Tony has been just a gem throughout this process as well. So you can go in and see Tony. You can go into any of the local, if you see the flyer anywhere, you can make a donation there as well. We will have t-shirts for sale. If there was a word to describe Chris, it'd have to be two, and it'd be tough, and it would be mother. So we got tough as a mother with, her initials on it. We'll have those t-shirts for sale pretty soon, and a link on her Facebook page for those. I can provide you with contact information for any of us on this group, any of us in this group that are helping plan this, and reach out to any of us. And if you can't make it to the event, but still want to offer help, we will do whatever we can to help you help her.
We'll take every single bit of help that there possibly is, all for an incredible cause. Sarah, I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up. What message do you hope this fundraiser and this benefit sends about compassion, unity, and looking out for one another?
Each one of us in this group that's organizing this event, we are our own nucleus to our own connections within our community. So we all either live or work in Keego Harbor, or both. I happen to live in Commerce and work in Keego Harbor. So I have connections that are branching out in Commerce. We have Clarkson, we have Troy, we have Auburn Hills, West Bloomfield. So to get together and help each other and lean on our own person, and just the growth is there exponentially, and the opportunity is there to truly support a family in a time of crisis, but not just in the moment of crisis, for the months thereafter. The recovery process is so unknown, and we're so unsure of what that's going to entail as far as medical costs go. And beyond that, things like transportation, I mean, the things that you don't think about. We all grocery shop, but if you have to have your groceries, let's say DoorDash or delivered, that's an added expense. I mean, and we do not know how long someone in this position is going to need that kind of support. So to have a network of people who then have their own network of people, it's an exponential impact in a positive way.
It's just casting a wider net all throughout the community, and that's where change happens, with the people you know and the bonds that you create. Sarah, where can people go to gain a little bit more information about this benefit and how they can help?
On Chris Baker's Facebook page, we have shared a flyer. I will share the link with you. I will send you a PDF of the flyer as well. And if you would like to post it on your socials, again, we would be grateful. Locally, I mean, you can't walk into any restaurant or any store and not see the flyer and get the information, but we will make sure that we're constantly sharing it and reminding people and our support system so that they can share it as well in the coming weeks leading up to the event.
Well, it's amazing to hear of all of the work that's been done so far and all of the help that's come to Chris's aid. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you again for having me.
We love to hear stories about this, of the community coming forward to helping someone in need. We want to see as many people stop by the Brew House tomorrow, May 9th, to support Chris Baker and to supporting this amazing community. On March 24th, the Oakland Schools Board of Education voted to place a regional enhancement millage on the August 4th, 2026 ballot. The proposed millage is a sinking fund renewal designed to continue funding for building upkeep, safety improvements, and technology across the school district. West Bloomfield School Superintendent Dr. Danya Bazzi and Public Relations and Communications Director Andrea Frank joined us on The Splash recently to tell us more.
Thank you both for joining us today to provide the community with some of the basics and answer some of their questions as they get ready for the August election.
Thank you for having us.
Happy to have you on to have this discussion. So much discussion already in the community about this as we're just a couple of months away from that August 4th primary. Dr. Bazzi, I want to start with you. Can you provide in simple terms to the community some of the basics of what this regional enhancement millage proposal is?
Yeah, so the regional enhancement millage is the ability for school districts collectively as a county to pursue per pupil dollars. This is different than, let's say, a bond or a sinking fund, which those funds are restricted to capital improvements, for maintenance of buildings and things of that nature. This is very unique in that it allows these funds will be collected and dispersed directly to local school districts that can be used by each school district by their governing board. So there's less restrictions on how these funds can be used, and that's what makes it a wonderful thing. To be clear, enhancement millage, although new to Oakland County, exists in many other counties. For example, Macomb and Wayne ISDs have regional enhancement millages that they've had for quite some time now. So these 44% of students in Michigan are supported by a regional enhancement millage.
And those all throughout the state as well, including Midland County in the mid-Michigan area, Kalamazoo and Ottawa County, Muskegon County on the west side of the state. This is not necessarily an uncommon practice. Dr. Bazzi, from your knowledge now speaking with other school districts from the Oakland schools perspective, why was now the time when they would go to local school districts like West Bloomfield asking them to approve putting this on the ballot for voters this August?
I think collectively as a county, we felt as educational leaders that now was the right time to support our students. Obviously, looking at finances and what's taking place at the federal and the state level, those things impact local school districts. And so public schools have to be creative and they really have to be student-centered and staff-centered and look for outside means to be able to support our students in the classroom and to support our staff so that we're able to retain highly qualified staff and be competitive with neighboring districts like Wayne and Macomb. So I think we waited, understanding that this was a difficult ask, but considering what's taking place, like I said, at the federal and the state level as it relates to public education funding, we believe that now was the best time.
Andrea, I want to go to you on this now, because it's a very different proposal that's on the ballot this election than we've seen for millage funding in the past or bond funding in the past from the West Bloomfield School District directly. This is through the Oakland Schools Intermediate School District, or ISD. It's very different than the bond proposals that were put before. But for the voters, what are they deciding on from the financial side that would be maybe different than what was proposed in the past from the school district with those bonds that have now led to new projects such as Chico and Doherty construction?
Good morning. Thank you, Tyler. Great question. So one of the main differences between like a sinking fund and a bond compared to the enhancement millage is that our teachers and our staff could really benefit from this enhancement millage based on increasing or being competitive, like Danya mentioned, with teacher salary. If we can keep that talent in West Bloomfield School District, that's what's going to make us competitive. And right now, that's really why we're pushing for this.
And there's so much information already out there about this from Oakland Schools directly. They do have a website set up with frequently asked questions, oaklandenhancementmillage.com, where voters can get some of the basics about this, contact info from Oakland Schools and others behind this proposal to get some of their questions answered. But so much of this has to go back to our local school districts for these parents, for these kids, for these educators specifically. Andrea, if people in our community do have questions, do have concerns about this, want to address that with the school district, what mechanisms are in place from West Bloomfield Schools to answer those questions from the voting public before they go to the ballot in August?
Sure. The website is a great resource for, frequently asked questions, but we're always available, phone, email. We have great resources like this program right now to just get the information out there to the public. The absentee ballots will be ready on June 25th, and election day is August 4th.
Dr. Baz, I want to go back to you on that. Oh, please continue. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I was just going to add that there will be regional informational meetings that will be set up.
Okay.
That people can come to and ask particular questions. I think one thing that we've heard a lot from so far in the community is, what are the plans for these dollars? And that's a very simple question. The plans for those dollars will look different for each of the 28 districts that make up Oakland County. And so each of those have local control that will be determined by, that will be recommended by the school district, but then governed and oversaw by the boards of education. Our strategic plan, for example, in West Bloomfield school districts, our guiding map, and all of our spending is aligned to that. And what that focuses on is safety, academic programming, mental health support, and retaining high quality staff, ensuring that our students have the best programming available. So a lot of times, I hear what's the plan, and while listing out those things is enough for some, it's not enough for others in the sense of a detailed thing. That's the beauty of this. Each year when a budget is formulated, that's when the work begins for the Board of Education, as well as administration and teachers and principals and support staff come together to say, how are we aligning our spending to our strategic plan? But what's good in West Bloomfield maybe looks different in a northern Oakland County school district. And so I think, as Andrea said, our door is always open. We love to chat with our community, stop by, schedule some time, and we would be glad to answer those. But there will be informational meetings that will be available to the community where they can come in person or via Zoom, and we'll be pushing those out in May and June.
And it's a real concern for people in the community how these funds, should they come back to the West Bloomfield School District by way of this vote passing affirmatively in August, what say would the individuals from the West Bloomfield School District, stakeholders like parents, educators, even students, have in working with the school district to direct this funding that would come in from their tax dollars?
I think what's important is at the end of the day, this conversation completely revolves around students, doing what's best for our students. And if approved, these resources would directly support the educational experience of every child, not only in our district, but every single child in Oakland County. That's what's unique about this enhancement millage. This touches every single student in Oakland County. And obviously, those things, as I discussed, would be focused on staffing, programming, safety, and other supports that would be provided via input, via our stakeholder surveys, our meetings. When we develop a budget, there's a lot of stakeholder input that comes through to make sure that we're providing experiences to our students. Like, for example, one thing that was important to our community coming into the West Bloomfield School District was a continuation of Magnet. What happens in the middle school for some of our most advanced learners? And now you see that we've created a program at the middle school called Advanced Pathways that set our students up for success and get them on the path to take advanced AP courses and college courses when they get to West Bloomfield High School. So those things come about as a effort of the community, and you can see those things happen in the past. These dollars will further support those efforts to make sure that our community continues and our school district continues to provide our students and staff with the best resources available.
There's a budget in place, the school district working on that budget all throughout the year, as do others in Oakland County and all throughout the state of Michigan. But the voters ultimately going to have the decision on this on August 4th, Tuesday election for the primaries. This will be on the ballot throughout Oakland County. For more of the basic information, frequently asked questions, contact info, that's available on oaklandenhancementmillage.com, or you can contact the West Bloomfield School District and find that contact info on wbsd.org. Andrea Frank and Dr. Danya Bazzi join us from the West Bloomfield School District as we discuss this. Dr. Bazzi, I want to go back to you as we are getting a little bit short on time. So much of the conversation that always revolves around any millage proposal or any bond proposal is continued efforts for fiscal responsibility. What steps does the West Bloomfield School District take, given the budget that they have in place for 1 year, the plans they have for budgets in the other, possibilities of additional funding coming through millages, and concerns of the public, to make sure that every dollar that's coming into the school district is being used as efficiently as possible?
One way is obviously, as a school district, we adhere to the highest accounting standards for school districts. We're regularly audited every year, where any additional funds that come in, like your bond and sinking fund, those are specifically audited each year to ensure that the spending is in line with those programmings. But more important than the technical side of making sure that we're adhering to it, it's are we aligned to our strategic plan? If our spending is not aligned to our strategic plan, I think that's where it's easily seen that we're going off course. When you look at our past budgets, you see a strong investment in early childhood literacy, in preschool. You see a huge investment in secondary mathematics. So those are all areas that the data has identified that those are areas of improvement and growth. And over the past 3 years, we've seen that growth firsthand in our data. Our students, of course, are more than a test score. There is a sense of belonging in West Bloomfield School District. We have the best students, the best staff. And I think when you go through the budgeting process, you really have to make sure that things are aligned to the things that you say you're going to do, and that the community sees those things. At the end of the day, this is our job is to provide the information as it relates to the enhancement millage, to make sure that our voters are informed when they go to the ballot box. And we're going to continue to do that through August 4th.
Lastly, Andrea, I want to go back to you on this one because that information is going to be so critical for our voters to be able to make an informed decision one way or the other come August 4th. Dr. Bazzi earlier mentioned some of the informational sessions that Oakland schools will be holding. Is there any additional locations on the web, on social media, or informational sessions that may be on the docket in the future for the West Bloomfield School District? And if so, where may people go to get information from the school district directly?
So on our website, under About Us, and then there's an enhancement millage page, we will be posting any informational face-to-face sessions. And then we can also have some online as well for those that can't make it face-to-face. We were discussing a webinar type seminar.
All that information going to be very, very important as the voters ultimately will make the decision. It is in the hands of you at home come August 4th, one way or the other. Information is available, and you should be asking those questions as we get closer to that election. Andrea, Dr. Bazzi, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you. Take care.
And that's going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. As always, big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible. I've been your host, Jake Schaff, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV.